Hey, so this is a simple YouTube Strategist AI agent that makes me 10K per month. I'm going to show you how an AI-powered YouTube strategy system can transform your content creation workflows. The AI system that serves as my YouTube strategist every single day, and more importantly, it funnels viewers into paid products and GoHighLevel client funnels to reliably generate about $10,000 per month in revenue for my business. It could be more, could be less when you're watching this, but I know for certain that people like myself, as well as many other people in the space, utilize AI specifically to find and optimize, like generate high quality thumbnails, titles, YouTube scripts, social media, Instagram scripts, like all of that. And if you're not using AI, well, you're practically leaving $10,000 per month in additional revenue on the table, right? Everything you're about to see is battle-tested operational automations that I depend on. And the best part, everything is available as a free download. The n8n template that you can deploy immediately is somewhere in the link in the description. Right, and by the end of this guide, you'll understand exactly how the system audits niches, audits needs, scrapes and analyzes high-performing packaging, mines audience signals, generates full package engaging video concepts, and routes warm viewers in funnel with high touchpoint outreach completely automated. Yeah, so I'll be walking you through this so you'll have a better idea and an understanding of what it looks like. So first of all, the workflow operates across 5 distinct phases, each designed to handle a specific aspect of YouTube strategy and revenue generation. Let me walk you through what makes the system different from typical content planning tools. All right, number 1, where you have the niche outlier. Right, so the manual trigger analyzing competitors, packaging and positioning strategist. And secondly, you have the board insights. So you have weekly automated sweep of adjacent niches for trends and ad identification. You have the daily niche scan. So in the morning, you can analyze high performing content in your specific vertical, comment mining. So all in signal extraction from your own channel, engagement or other people's channels, right? And last but not least, your video ideation. So AI generates concepts with titles, thumbnails, and funnel hooks. Now again, this is specifically utilized if you're a business owner or a business owner who wants to improve their organic content specifically on YouTube, and you don't have to think of ideas and etc, and find what's popular. This does it for you. Or if you're an agency owner, coach, or consultant, and you want to use this for yourself, great. Or if you want to provide this as a service as well, this speeds up the production of content significantly, right? And obviously you're not guessing because it finds you the outliers on a monthly, weekly, daily basis that you can perform and present to your customers and clients. I know an agency in the space that does $1 to $3 million per month, and they charge about £5,000 per month to create high performing content for local business owners. So take that as you will, potentially a good add-on to your back end if you are an agency owner. So anyway, to begin with, phase 1, the niche outlier analysis. This is the manual trigger for competitive intelligence. Essentially, where phase 1 begins is with a single simple form submission when you input 3 YouTube channels. For instance, for my demo, I use AI Agency Growth, Automation Labs, and GoHighLevel Hacks as reference channels. I can use any other YouTube channel, so be it, right? Once submitted, the system springs into action, scraping their best performing videos from the last, I can even put Mr. Beast, and obviously you want them to be specified into your niche, but you get the point, right? Like you want to put the highest performing channels in here, scraping their best performing videos from the past 6 months, and conducting deep packaging and business signal analysis. The workflow pulls top videos, extracts titles and thumbnails, reads views and engagement metrics, then deploys 2 specialized AI agents, one extracting title power words and positioning hooks, and another analyzing thumbnail composition and implicit value promises. Choose channels slightly ahead of you in subscriber count, but in the same niche, their proven packaging reveals what resonates with your audience and what you're trying to reach. Yeah, so that is our peer. Very simply put, we're talking about specifically niche outliers. So this is this specific node. You have a form which executes the workflow, right? Then we split it into 3 channels because you would have input it through channels, right? And then it spits it out, loops over 3 items. It finds channel outliers, making sure that you use your Apify key. So if you've not signed up for Apify yet, it looks like this. Again, as mentioned before in previous videos, you can either have it as a free or a sort of pay per usage, pay per month side of things. Yeah, so what it does after phase 1 completes, the results populate a Google Sheet. On the spreadsheet itself, you want to add your OpenAI route for your OpenAI keys to these specific nodes. So it follows through with the prompts that are in that specific node. And then you want to copy the link into the Google Sheet, and these are the specific sheets associated with it. So there is the niche outliers, broad niche, weekly sort of research, niche daily research, comment analysis, and then once you have all that data, the ideations that come from the aggregate of all these points of research. Yeah, so the first tab will show your niche outliers, right? The top 10 videos from each channel over the past 6 months, complete with title, URL, thumbnails, views, likes, and AI-powered insights. So the title analysis, you extract the power words and promises that trigger curiosity, authority, or direct benefits. The thumbnail strategy, so like what is it that is attracting them to it, the composition, the elements, the bold text, the contrast, the product shots, before and after, the pattern breaking. So this creates an actionable database of proven packaging for future content creation, right? So for example, from one of our analysis structures, terms like done for you, paying clients, 90 days, double retention, go out of the workflows as the conversion mechanisms. Cool. Visual intelligence. So the thumbnail breakdown, right? You want to analyze why people are clicking on it. So is it high contrast? Is it product screenshots? Is it before and afters? Is it bold foreground texts? Right? The image analysis agent highlights specific compositional elements that drive clicks and viewers and trust. You can click the thumbnail URL in the sheet so you can to see the full image and reverse engineering those visual cues for your own content. So this isn't just about copying, it's about understanding the implicit promise each thumbnail makes, and then mapping those promises into landing pages or lead magnets and go high level. This is pretty cool. Again, we'll talk about it later, but essentially what you could do is based on every single video that you have. So that could be a lead magnet where people see free content, find it valuable, come to this point and say, oh, I really want to learn more about that. Click the link in the description, fill out their information. So I have their name, email, phone number. That goes to my GoHighLevel, where I can then call, text, email that person to try and qualify, add them to see if they're a good fit, either for our various products or done for you services, and then go from there, right? So when you know a thumbnail promises automations that save you 10 hours weekly, your funnel should deliver a lead magnet or consultation that addresses that exact time living outcome. This alignment converts curiosity into revenue. Next, phase 2, which is your weekly automation. So it is basically what we talked about as the phase 1 niche outlier, and how we can essentially find titles, analyze ones that are performing, and merge them into the niche outlier data, which then again loops over about item 3 or down here. Next, we're going to phase 2, which is the broad niche insights, which essentially every single Sunday, again, you can change the date if you like. It triggers this workflow, which has a broad niche search in here. So it's nothing too, it's pretty vague, right? So for us, we put artificial intelligence, but you can change this to your specific niche, scrapes it using this specific, your Capify token, right? And then it goes into the title analyzer, thumbnail analyzer, and then uploads that into your Excel spreadsheet over here. Okay, cool. Let's move on to the next bit, which is while phase 1 requires new triggers, phase 2 runs automatically every Sunday morning. And this is obviously a broad sweep. I configure mine to monitor AI automations for small businesses. As an example, again, change it how you want to change it. The system performs a topical YouTube scrape and pulls the top 5 trending video for that broader query, right? So this provides outside the bubble inspiration that prevents echo chamber thinking. Yeah? JSON inspiration. So packaging, winning related areas often translates when you align the value proposition to your specific audience macro trends. So not just your micro niche, but also your macro trends, what's going on, and then lead-like ideas. So trending topics become blueprints, checklists, or templates for go-to campaigns. For instance, if it's, AI client intake automation starts trending. If this specific phrase starts trending, that immediately becomes a lead magnet idea like 7-step AI intake blueprints paired with a go high-level motor sequence. So the weekly actor searches, analyzes the same titles and thumbnail agents, and writes outputs on a dedicated sheet tab for ongoing trend tracking. Hope that makes sense. Now we move on to phase 3, 4, or N5, which is the daily intelligence loop. So phase 3 and through phase 3, 5 together into a single workflow, right? So that's kind of how it works. What it does, again, I essentially put this daily automation is where the system becomes, so essentially phase 3 to 4 to 5, this basically has a daily trigger every day at 6 a.m. your time. It analyzes again what's performing, sends it to the daily news sheet, then analyzes the channel, script channel, gets the comments to figure out what is performing. It analyzes that comments into this Excel spreadsheet, and then it goes into what are the high performance. GBT creates this using this creative agent, creates ideas that you could post, and then it sends a Slack notification, which you'll have to create in Slack if you use Slack, or a text message or a WhatsApp, whatever you decide to use, to yourself for you to check what's performing, what isn't. Yeah. So, which is, a daily automation where the system becomes truly powerful, creating a continual cycle of insight and ideation. Phase 3 narrows back to your specific target niche for me, right? Again, that's AI systems for agencies, and scrapes the most resonant videos from past week. Phase 4 minds your own channel comments, or again, other people's channel comments and social signals, extracting what your actual audience is saying so your content maps directly to demand signals that convert. In phase 5, it synthesizes everything, outlier patterns plus audience signals, which generate 3 fully packaged video ideas and daily, 3 fully packaged video ideas daily, and it completes with title, thumbnail concepts, and the exact final first step to pair with each video. How cool is this, guys? So cool. All right, I'm going to talk a little bit more about phase 4, right? Which is the comment analysis deep dive. So the comment analysis is where the system truly becomes bespoke, right? Because the workflow targets my own specific channel. You're going to be, you don't have that many comments on your channel. That's fine. You can try and maybe pull from other people's YouTube channels, especially people that you like a lot. And you can take their comments and figure out what the people in the comment section on your inspired YouTube channel want, right? Because that's exactly what the Apify actor does. It pulls the 5 most recent uploads and passes those video URLs to a comment actor that grabs approximately 30 comments per video, sorted by newest. Because comments are distributed across multiple videos, I aggregate them into a single item so that the AI can process the full conversational context and identify patterns in one analytical part. What we're doing here, and what we're doing well, is that we're identifying trust-building elements and retention drivers that should be amplified and replicated across future content. What your audience dislikes, so how can you not post stuff that your audience dislikes? And then explicit requests, so directly ask for topics, tools, walkthroughs, and case studies that become lead magnets or consulting offer. So if you're finding that one video in your YouTube channel, or one video, let's say in the last 5 recent posts, is an outlier on another YouTuber's channel, and you're like, oh wow, this is what people really dislike about this specific type of content, or this is what people really like, I'm going to go to my channel and now post that and see if people will resonate with that. Hope that makes sense. These 3 categories directly feed into your content to final alignment strategy, which of course requests can become lead magnet ideas, dislike maps to value add resources, and then strengthen signals, what to scale and double down on. Now, phase freaking 5, the bit that you've probably been waiting for, right? The ideation is the cue. Thank you, the simulation of everything the system has learned. So it merges high-performing packaging patterns from your niche with direct audience signals to produce 3 actionable video packages every single day. Each package includes a title optimized for clicks and search intent, using extracted power words, and a thumbnail concept describing the visual promise and exact text layout. And most importantly, the funnel hook, right? Which again, you can turn into a lead magnet, again, using GoHighLevel. If you want, you probably have a GoHighLevel account. If not, link in description. Example, daily outputs, put some inputs, right? So turn cold leads into 5K per month clients with 1 order minute GoHighLevel sequence. The thumbnail could be this, right? And then the funnel in the back end could be a free CTA or a GoHighLevel booking form with pre-filled values. Each idea arrives ready to shoot and publish with a complete funnel playbook attached. There's no more staring at blank screens, wondering what to create next. This is how the technical implementation from concept to code would work, right? So this template reflects my opinionated approach. I map manual processes. I actually form them, then automate them using reliable primitives and clear data flows. Again, we've talked about this previously in our other videos where we process them, map them out. We use context engineering. How can we make sure that execution is reliable? And how can we scale it? And then how to wireframe itself. So I'm not going to go into too much depth, but this is my process, right? So I make sure that when replacing manual work, I follow 2 principles, right? I process map the human steps with extreme clarity, right? So either yourself or a teammate or a VA could do this. And then secondly, I convert these steps into discrete automation tasks. I sketch out the wireframe logic first. Once that's clear, I then implement this into n8n or any other platforms you use. Form input, right? So this is the 3 channels submitted via forms, the data split, which sets the code, converts single fields to array of 3 items, loop processing. So each channel process independently through workflows, AI analysts, which is parallel branches for title and thumbnail intelligence, and then sheet writing, which is obviously merge results written to Google Sheets databases. The data manipulation and YouTube scraping strategy here, right? So processing form submission, when you submit the 3 forms as a single text field, I use a set node to pass this into an array, and then I split it into 3 discrete items, enabling the downstream nodes to process each channel independently in a loop structure. Not sure, does that make sense? So I use the set of nodes because I want n8, n to basically look at all 3 channels individually as opposed to all of them at one time. Yeah, Apify integration. So all YouTube scrapes leverage Apify actors, especially in App Store. They're essentially an App Store pre-built scrapers. Use the YouTube search actor that returns comprehensive data, right? So in order to set up an Apify key plugged into your credentials, there'll be a link in the description if you want to sign up under our link. Since filtering guarantees, we capture genuine outliers rather than just newest uploads or algorithmic irrelevant content. We're mining for proven packages that drive results, not just recent views. Then obviously the AI agents, the title and thumbnail strategists, right? Once I have those 10 targeted videos identified, we have the field cleaning, we have the title analysis, and then the thumbnail analysis. So the title analysis prompt, right? So this is the prompt that we use. And then this is the thumbnail analysis prompt that we use as well in here. Yeah, so this is specifically what I'm talking about. It is the AI agents over here, title analysis, comment analysis, creative agents, and so forth. Yeah, and writing results. So once you have them all parallel analysis data merging, you want to have them shoot, right? And then you want to figure out the pattern bank. So I merge them back into the single data line per video. This consolidates records and contains the original video metadata, plus both the title analysis and the thumbnail analysis insights. These merged records write to the niche outlier tab in your Google Sheet, which creates an ever-growing actionable inspirational database, right? So every time you run phase 1, you're basically adding proven packaging examples that you can then reference when you're planning your own content. Phase 2 operates on the same technical architecture, except it's a weekly broad niche scrape. So instead of it being when you choose to do it, it is on a weekly basis, but it, of course, writes to its second trend for trend tracking over time. And then last but not least, the daily workflow, the niche comments and ideation every morning at 6 a.m. or whenever time you choose to set it at. The daily workflow chain executes automatically, where it essentially pulls the 5 best performing recent videos in your specific niche and writes them to the daily analysis. Basically, it scripts your own YouTube channel, but again, you can scrape others, and it pulls the most recent 30 comments. Right, so this is what it looks like, the comment agent architecture, right? So the idea here is the aggregate comment data passes into an LLM with a specialized system prompt that frames it as an audience insight analysis, right? So you are an audience prompt, right? In this one, phase 4 over here, right? And then I enforce a strict output format. So parsing and writing to the Google Sheet remains deterministic and reliable. This produces a daily health check row in the comment analysis, strengths, friction, requests. These are all actionable categories. And of course, this isn't a vanity metric, right, guys? This is a direct pipeline intelligence showing you exactly what your audience wants to buy from you or learn from, eliminating guesswork from product development. Because then, like when you're like, oh, what do I make a YouTube video about? What do I post? I encounter this a lot. Say, what do I post? Well, what's popular? What do people want to learn? And learn from other competitors around your space or popular competitors or from you specifically. And last but not least, the ideation and creation phase. So this is the ideation synthesis stage. So where all the data transforms into actions. I pull today's niche analysis rows from the daily sheet. I aggregate them and I include the comment analysis plus a brief channel description that I generate once and I reuse consistently. Yeah, so they're creating creative agent input context, right? The agent receives comprehensive context. Today's high-performing titles and extracted power words, thumbnails and analysis notes highlighting visual hooks, aggregate audience requests and friction points, plus your channel's description and primary business goals, right? Is it lead? Like, what are you AI? Are you a local business owner? Are you a media buying agency? Like, who are you? And this creative agent will have that context, which then allows you to package YouTube videos specific to your niche as well, right? So this is the prompt specifically to generate and package high-performing YouTube videos and thumbnail ideas, right? So example, generate your packages, no-code AI proposals that close, built-in n8n and GoHighLevel. It's an example. Fix your webhook failures, resilient triggers for 99.9% uptime. So the thumbnail is this, and then the funnel, if you wanted to add that on the back end, could be this. The output writes 3 rows. It writes 3 rows to the ideation tab every single day. And each idea is actionable. Immediately you can shoot, publish, and activate the paired funnel if you choose to do so. How to get the templates? Again, link in the description. There'll be a complete n8n JSON with all 5 phases wired, paired, and ready to execute. Sample sheets are in there as well. Setup guides are in there as well. We don't have the GoHighLevel integration. That is for something, if you wanted to make your funnels, that would be in a separate video, but you get my point, right? The idea here is that you want to configure variables, update your YouTube channel URL or someone else's. If you don't have enough comments on your YouTube channel, you want your niche keywords, your GoHighLevel webhook. Again, this is optional. And then your Apify API token for scraping access. The sheets and workflows include detailed comments, example prompts, so customizing messaging and funnel hooks for your specific business is straightforward. Again, I use the exact system daily to create content that performs on GoHighLevel and feeds a predictable revenue motion. So content attracts leads, GoHighLevel nurtures them, and then the funnel converts them into a consultation, project, or course sales depending on what you offer. Sunday is your content creation day. You look through the content ideas, you pick the one that you like, you film it, you either send it to an editor, or maybe we have an AI editor by the time this video is out, and that's me now. And you upload it and you just consistently produce high quality content every single week, once a week on YouTube that is valuable and value dense, right? And you have titles that perform in that given stage of time, then there's no doubt you'll be able to extract not just 10K. I know people pulling thousands and millions of dollars from organic content by posting relevant stuff. So hope this was helpful. You'll find all the resources in the link in the description. And yeah, thank you very much for watching.